This morning, what I want to talk to you about is the law of the jungle. Should be seniors and juniors should be sitting close to your freshman buddies. I've got handouts. I don't know if I have enough handouts for everybody, though. Varsity guys take one. Sophomores take one. Freshmen just look on. Start over here. I need to grab that for a second, though. So pass those around, if you would. And for right now, just share with the guy next to you. Anybody heard of an author, a poet, British author, Rudyard Kipling? Anybody heard that name before? Raise your hand if you have. Okay. Anybody heard of the movie The Jungle Book? Okay. The Jungle Book, written by Rudyard Kipling. Okay, the movie was a little bit of spin-off off that. Rudyard Kipling was a British poet, author, around the turn of the 20th century. He grew up in India. So he was familiar with the jungle. He wrote about the laws of the jungle. What I've passed out to you is a quote from the Jungle Book, which he wrote. And some of you may be familiar with this passage from the book. Could I get a senior to read that? Go ahead.
Now this is the law of the jungle, as old and as true as the sky. And the wolf that shall keep it will prosper, but the wolf that shall break it must die. The law runneth forward and back, for the strength of the pack is the wolf, and the strength of the wolf is the pack.
Read that bold section again, Andy.
For the strength of the pack is the wolf, and the strength of the wolf is the pack.
What does that mean? Giles. I can't hear you. Okay, so can't do anything without the help of others, you're saying? Okay. Anybody else have interpretation to that quote? Jordy.
It's kind of like all for one and one for all.
All for one and one for all. All for one and one for all. The idea is there, and you can see some wolves at the bottom of your handout there, a pack of wolves. The idea is there are lone wolves, right? There are wolves, individual wolves within a pack. The strength of the pack is that individual wolf. However, the strength of that individual wolf is that pack of wolves. Phil Jackson, you ever heard of Phil Jackson before? Okay. Coached Chicago Bulls to many championships, and now the LA Lakers, currently champions of this last year. Basically interpreted that quote as, the strength of the team is each individual member. The strength of each member is the team. Kind of a give and take relationship. Your individual attributes contribute to the overall strength of the team. However, football, the greatest team sport, 11 guys working together as a team, okay, if your individual attributes, strong as they are, if you don't have those other 10 guys working together with you, you're not going to be strong at all. Every single one of you is a leader. Who participated this summer and this spring in our leadership program? The leadership program, everybody was on a team, weren't you? Except for freshmen, basically. Who participated? Okay. We had many different things that we were doing this spring and this summer with this leadership program. I think it's one of the greatest things that we've done here, Panther Football. Who was pulling weeds? Some of you guys are at Cub Foods, right? Selling ice cream, giving that money to charity. Is that right? Youth football, helping out there, feed my starving children. What I want you to think about right now, your individual leadership characteristics. I want you to turn to somebody next to you, your buddy, your freshman buddy, juniors and seniors. And juniors and seniors, you can kind of get a group of 4 here also. But what I want you to think about, what did you do to demonstrate leadership this spring and summer? How did you contribute to the strength of this pact? How did it make you feel? So how did you, in this leadership program, contribute to the strength of this pack, and how did it make you feel? What individual things did you do to develop your leadership? I want you to discuss those. And freshmen, I want you to listen. Hear what they did. You may want to share, if I can bring you back together. What did you do? How did you feel afterwards? What did you do to demonstrate your leadership? What individual things did you do this summer? And then how did you feel afterwards?
We went to Feed My Starving Children.
Feed My Starving Children. Who participated in Feed My Starving Children? I was there. I helped organize that. I was working with Cam. How'd you feel afterwards, Cam? Besides hot and sweaty. Because Cameron was working his tail off there.
Felt good.
Felt good. Why?
To know that you're helping people that need help.
Helping those in need. Feed My Starving Children is a great way to do that. Feed people throughout the world. Kids, right? They need it. Feed those individuals. Gratifying, right? Felt good about yourself and what you're doing. What else? Giovanni.
I helped a heart attack patient out with this.
A little bit louder.
I helped a heart attack patient.
A heart attack patient. How did you help him?
I don't know, just he needed help, like mowing his grass, or just moving stuff around his house, just helping him.
Guy who can't lift a whole lot, right? Tasks that he probably used to be able to do but now can't. Came in and helped him out. How'd you feel? Good. Gratifying feeling. Helping out those who need it. On this team right here, there's going to be points, plenty of points. Coach Spriggs talked about this yesterday, adversity in which we are going to need to be picked up. There are plenty of leaders in this room to pick each other up. Those things that we did this summer, those leadership qualities that we were developing are going to help each other pick each other up to strengthen the pack. Every single one of you, whether you were a leader on that leadership team or not, or one of the followers, you are still leaders by completing those tasks, by developing those leadership characteristics. As we step out on those fields, we look at our captains, right? Clearly, those three guys are leaders. You voted for them last year as leaders. However, seniors are leaders. Each individual, juniors, sophomores, you have leadership characteristics. You have leadership abilities. You are leaders. And you all contribute to strengthening that pack. What I want you to think about, though, is how do you, whether it's on the field or off the field, strengthen the pack? Do you do everything you can do to strengthen the pack? But what I also want you to think about is another question. The second one is, how does or has the pack strengthen you on or off the field? So how do you help the team? How do you help the strength of this team? But then how has the team helped you? On the field, whether that's simply blocking for you, off the field. Two questions. I want you to think about that for a few seconds here, and I want you to turn to somebody next to you and share your ideas that you have with them. Two questions I want you to talk about quickly here. How do you strengthen the pack, strengthen the team? And how has the team strengthened you? Discuss. All right. To kind of wrap up here, can I get a couple people to share examples of how the team has strengthened you or how you individually have strengthened the pack? Answering one of the two questions. Gary's your hand up or you're stretching?
Us working all together.
Working all together. You got a specific example?
Working hard, giving 110%.
Okay, everybody giving their all-out effort together. Keefan. A little bit louder.
Stop doing stupid stuff like being part of the team.
Okay, so by joining the team, you have to give up stupid things you said, like bad habits, things that don't help out the team, right? That other people that may walk through the school are doing, but you're not, right? You have to give those things up by joining this team because that makes you dependable. Part of this is interdependence. Strength of the pack is this interdependence that I can look around and depend on each one of you individuals to have my back, doing the right things.
Well, the pack has helped me by like making me a better person, teaching me how to work hard and stuff, and like not give up when the going gets tough.
So other examples of leadership that you see demonstrated on the field, right? Guys with their work ethic on the field. By seeing that demonstrated, that's made you a stronger person, a stronger wolf, right? By working harder. Anybody else want to share?
You have to work hard so you don't let down the team.
You got to work hard because that interdependence, there are 10 other guys that are dependent on you on every single play, doing your job.
It's more off the field, but some of my best friends are football guys, so it's the community outside.
The community outside. The pack isn't over when we leave that field, right? Pack stays together. In the classroom, in the hallway, right? At your houses, in the community. Take a look at the bottom there. You ever heard of the word synergy before? Okay? Defined it here. Where the whole becomes greater than the individual. Synergy. I was just trying to think of a word that could sum all this together. Synergy. Where the whole becomes greater than the individual. This right here, Panther Football, this team becomes greater than any single one of you. Putting that team first. Look around. Look around. Look around at your teammates. Whether that's varsity, whether that's freshman, whether that's sophomore. Look at them in the eye. Maybe a little uncomfortable, right? But those are your teammates. Those are the guys who you're going to go out and hunt with. Day in, day out. Hunting during practice. Hunting on Friday nights or Thursdays. Hunting the other team. Right? Every single one of you are leaders on that field. And the strength of every single one of you is going to strengthen this pack. It's going to make the pack stronger. But without the pack, we're nothing as individuals, as lone wolves. As a pack working as a whole, you can defeat anyone. We can defeat any single team under any sort of adversity. However, as lone wolves, we won't survive. We'll die. What I want you to do here, you can put this up in your locker, you can put it in your book, wherever you want to, but I want you to come back to this at the end of two-a-days, or over the weekend, or after our first game. I want you to come back to this, and I want you to think about those two questions I posed to you earlier. How do you strengthen the pack? And then how does the pack strengthen you? I want you to think about that. So what are you doing to strengthen this pack?